so we'll start just in a comfortable seated position. So if you do want to sit up on top of something like a block or a blanket, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, just sit bones on the ground. You can kneel or sit cross-legged, whatever feels best. And then just take a moment to kind of settle into your seat. So lengthen up through your spine and the back of your neck. Relax through your face, through your shoulders. And then be intentional with where you place your hands. So you can have your hands at your heart, hands rest on your lap, maybe one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. And then just take a moment to notice how you feel energetically, physically, and emotionally. Take a moment to just check in and tune in. Start to bring more awareness to your breath. And next time you breathe in, fill up as big as you can. Hold at the very, very top and sip in even a little bit more. Exhale, big open mouth sigh, let it go. And again, just like that, inhale, fill up. Hold in fullness. Exhale out your mouth, big sigh, release. And then one more time. So make this the biggest breath you've taken all day long. Hold at the top, and any stress, anxiety, any heaviness you feel like you're holding, just big, huge exhale, breathe it out, let it go. Good, you guys, seal your lips gently and start to cultivate your Ujjayi breath. And if you have not turned on that playlist already, I would recommend turning it on now. So as you tune into your breath, can you make it bigger and more spacious? Can you send your inhales all the way down into your low belly, into your low back? Can you take each exhale all the way to emptiness, all the way to the very, very bottom? Can you create that sound with your breath, that gentle whisper? So keep your breath moving and flowing in this way, and next time you inhale, reach your arms to the sky, lengthen from your hips all the way up to your fingertips. Exhale, hands to your heart center. One more time, just like that. Inhale, arms reach up. See if you can lengthen through both side bodies as you reach, and exhale, hands to heart. This time, inhale, reach your arms up as high as you can, and then exhale, twist your upper body to the right, reach your left arm forward and your right arm back. So imagine you're trying to touch an invisible wall right in front of you and right in back of you. Broaden through your collarbones and use the strength in your core to twist a little bit further every single time you exhale. Take one more full round of breath just like this. See if you can sit taller, reach, reach, reach. End of your exhale, stay in your twist but bring your hands down. So left hand to the outside of your right knee or thigh, and then right hand back behind you. Gaze over your right shoulder. Move your breath down into your belly. And with each exhalation, pull your belly button back towards your spine. So feel this connection to your center as you twist. Take one last round. At the very, very end of your exhale, twist your edge and then slowly unwind. Inhale, reach up, stretch tall. Same thing, other side. So exhale to twist to the left. This time, right arm reaches forward, left arm reaches back, and even spread your fingers. So actively reach through your fingertips. Maybe take a gaze back over your left shoulder and see if you can use your gaze to work your twist. Take one more full round of breath, sit up taller, draw up through the crown of your head, and then very end of your exhalation, hands come down. Right hand to the outside of left knee or thigh, and then left hand back behind you, gaze over your left shoulder. So yes, this is a pretty basic posture. We're not doing anything crazy, but I think the basic postures are the best places that we can find more body awareness and start to create more space inside. So use this pose, get everything you can out of it. Very, very end of your next exhale, slowly unwind. Inhale, take your arms to the sky, stretch tall. And then exhale, bring your hands to the ground in front of you and transition forward onto your hands and your knees, tabletop position. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Start to either move through some cat-cow undulations or explore any movement with your spine, your neck, your hips, your shoulders. So really just whatever feels good, and you're more than welcome to close your eyes. So don't worry too much about how you look or how anyone else looks. Just focus on how it feels, how your body feels. Find your way to a neutral spine. So rather than thinking of cat or cow, find a happy medium right in between. Think of knitting your bottom ribs together and then drawing them in. Keep that and take your right arm forward, your left leg back, spinal balance. So as you reach forward and back, try not to make a cow position with your spine. Don't arch through your spine. Draw your belly button in and up. Think of a nice flat back. So if I had a platter of food, I could set it on top of your back and it wouldn't slide in any direction. Take one more big inhale. Reach, 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 and pull yourself apart. Exhale, elbow to knee underneath you. So curl in, round your spine, hollow out your belly. Inhale to slowly re-extend. Try not to arch. Just think of a nice straight line. Exhale, elbow to knee. Empty all the way out. Draw your belly button in and up. And then one more time. Inhale, lengthen. Spread your fingers. Press through your back foot. Exhale, curl in. Hollow out. Round through your mid-back. Inhale, re-extend. And then listen carefully. Exhale, bring your right hand to your right hip. So your right hand is on your right hip, and then think of pushing your right hip towards the back of your mat, especially the skin on the outside of it. Start to twist your upper body to the right. So maybe take your gaze to the right and see if your chest, your heart will follow. Now keep that and extend your right arm straight up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. As you reach your right arm up, can you lift your left leg higher, squeeze through your inner thighs, and twist from your center. Take one more full round of breath. So this is just like revolved half moon, but we're on our hands and our knees. Remember that. And with your exhale, come back to your tabletop. So both knees, both hands on the ground. And then take it back to a downward facing dog. Tuck your toes under, lift your knees, and lift your hips. So from your down dog, walk your feet just a couple inches closer to your hands, not a lot. And then walk your feet out to the width of your mat. Now take your left hand and reach it around to grab the outside of your right ankle, the back of your calf, or the back of your knee. So as low as you can get on your right leg. Press down firmly with your right hand, really strong through your right shoulder, and then use the leverage of your left hand against your right ankle and see if you can work a twist right from the center of your body. Continue to lift your hips high. Lengthen your spine. Maybe press your heels closer to the ground, or if it feels better, you can have a big bend in your knees. Take about 2 more breaths to actively work this pose. Good job, you guys. Use your exhale to twist to your very edge. Final round. And then slowly unwind. So both hands on the ground. Keep your feet where they're at. Take one more big inhale. And exhale, crawl your hands to the back of your yoga mat so you're in a slightly wide-legged forward fold. All 10 toes face directly forward. Inhale to a halfway lift, spinal extension. Now pause here. Bring your left fingertips to the ground underneath your chest and reach your right arm to the sky. If you are able to, keep both legs straight. Reach your sit bones back, crown of your head forward, twist from your center. If you need to modify, you're more than welcome to bring a deep bend into your left knee. If you want to take it even further, left hand to the outside of your right ankle, and then right arm wraps behind your back. Take 2 more deep breaths wherever you're at. Legs long if possible, and spine long no matter what. Use your exhales to work your twists. And then very end of your next exhalation, slowly unwind and switch sides. So right fingertips on the ground, left arm to the sky. Same options apply to modify, bend your right knee. Otherwise, both legs straight. To take it further, right hand to the outside of your left ankle, left arm wraps behind your back. See if you can gaze up at the sky. 2 more rounds. Very end of your next exhale, twist to your edge and then slowly unwind. Ragdoll poses where we'll meet. So grab opposite elbows. Keep your feet nice and wide. Let your torso sway or swing or bob. Let your head be very heavy. Maybe even shake your head yes or no. Think of sending your breath up your spine and then all the way down the backs of your legs. Take about 2 more rounds. Next time you inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands and start to crawl your hands forward until you're in a plank position. Keep your feet wide at the width of your mat. So shoulders over wrists, hips level with your shoulders, feet wide. See if you can hold this position really strong and just hover your right foot above the ground. Now stay here, or see if you can lift your left fingertips. Maybe reach your left arm straight forward. So just like a spinal balance, but you're on your hand and your foot rather than your hand and your knee. Take 1 more full round of breath. Stretch, maybe lift higher. Exhale, lower down. Same thing, other side. So see if you can float your left foot off the ground. Doesn't have to be super high. Keep it strong. Maybe come up to your right fingertips. Maybe reach your right arm forward. Breathe. If you wobble a lot, that's perfectly fine. This pose is called teeter-totter, so you're meant to wobble. Take 1 more big inhale. Exhale, hand and foot come down. Slowly lower down to your belly. Inhale, just a baby cobra. So lift your chest using the strength in your back rather than the strength in your arms. Squeeze shoulder blades towards your spine and point your elbows straight back behind you. Press your shoelaces firmly down. Keep that. Now see if you can float your hands up. Reach your hands back toward your heels. Lift your chest even higher. Imagine your elbows are magnetized. So bend your elbows a little bit and then squeeze them closer together. See if you can feel your mid-back muscles start to fire. Press your pelvis down and feel your low abdominals tone more. Take 1 more inhale. Exhale, release, let it go. Bring your hands out wide to frame your yoga mat, Spider-Man Cobra. So up on your fingertips. Inhale, lift. Exhale, dip your left shoulder down and gaze over to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, other side, dip your right shoulder down, gaze left. Inhale, center. And exhale, release. We'll meet on hands and knees. You can get there however you want. So if there's 1 more back bend you want to work with, if you want to take a regular vinyasa or maybe a couple cat-cows, perhaps even sit back into child's pose. Those are all great options. Find your breath if you've lost it. So connect back with those strong, slow, steady Ujjayi breaths. All right, so tabletop position if you're not already there. Spread your fingers wide, knit your lowest front ribs together, draw your belly button in and up. Make sure you're not locking out your elbows and dumping into your joints. Feel the strength in your arms. Take your left arm forward, your right leg back this time. So see if you can feel that long, strong line of energy from the tips of your fingers all the way back to your heel. Make sure your belly's not dropping down, it's lifting up. Take 1 more big inhale and pull yourself apart. Exhale, elbow to knee, so slowly around, curl in, hollow out. Inhale, re-extend, lengthen. Think of moving slow motion like you're moving through molasses. Exhale, elbow to knee. Big breath, inhale, re-extend, get even longer this time. And then last one, elbow to knee. Round, curl in, draw your belly button in and up. Inhale, lengthen. And then listen here, exhale, left hand to the crease in your left hip. So think of taking the skin on the inside of your hip and rolling it out and pushing it back. So as you do that, you should kind of feel your upper body start to twist to the left. Continue to work that twist. Squeeze through your inner thighs. And then eventually you reach your left arm to the sky and see if you can even take your gaze up. Let your heart follow, so heart starts to turn up. Make your back leg stronger, straighter, more powerful. Make your breath bigger. Take 2 more rounds. Twist further with your exhales. Reach even higher. And then very end of your next exhalation, slowly release. Come back to your tabletop and take it back to downward facing dog. So feet come in just a little tiny bit closer. You still want the foundation of this pose to be your hands. And then step your feet out wide to the width of your mat. Bring your right hand to grab the outside of your left ankle. Back of your calf or back of your knee is fine if you're modifying. Keep the length in your spine and lift in your hips. Really feel the strength in your left shoulder each time you exhale. See if you can gaze further underneath your left shoulder. Maybe even start to gaze up underneath your left armpit. Take about 2 more deep breaths. Good job, you guys. End of your second exhale, unwind. Big inhale into your down dog. And then this time, exhale, look forward, step, tiptoe, or hop, top of your mat, forward fold. So feet hips width distance apart or big toes touch, whatever you prefer. Take just a moment, let your head be heavy, maybe even bring your hands behind your head and interlace your fingers. Find your big deep breaths. With your next inhalation, lift up halfway, spinal extension. Exhale, bow, fold in. Root through your feet and slowly rise all the way up. Inhale, arms stretch tall. Exhale, hands into heart. Flow with your breath. Inhale, high mountain. Reach. Exhale, swan dive down. Try to use the strength in your core to resist as you dive. With your inhale, lift up halfway and extend your spine. Exhale, bow, let it go. Root through your feet, reverse swan dive to stand. So see if you can move from your center, feel the engagement of your core. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. We'll do 1 more just like that. Moving meditation. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, slow dive. Halfway lift as you breathe in. Spine parallel to the ground. Exhale, fold, bow in. From the press of your feet, engage your core. Lead with your heart. Rise to stand. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, everybody bring your big toes to touch, or if you do happen to have a block at home, bring it in between your inner thighs. Next time you breathe in, arms reach up. And then as you exhale, sit back into chair pose. Either squeeze your block or squeeze through the tops of your thighs. So your knees are touching, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Bring your hands to your heart center. And then I want you to keep your hands right at your heart. See if you can lift your heart up and sit back a little further. Take 1 more big inhale. Keep your spine long and exhale, twist to the right. Hover your left elbow above your right knee. Take a full round of breath. So now the crown of your head is reaching forward, your hips are reaching back, your thighs are squeezing. Inhale, come back to your chair pose, lift your heart up, squeeze your inner thighs. Exhale, twist to the other side. So hover your right elbow above your left knee, hand should be right at your heart, full breath. Use your exhale to twist further. Inhale, come back to center, 1 more time each side, a little faster. Exhale, twist to the right. Empty out, twist to your edge. Inhale, center, lift your heart, and exhale to the left as far as you can go. Use your breath to go further. Inhale, come back to center, reach your arms all the way up, straighten out your legs. Exhale, cactus your arms. If you want, you can step your feet hips width distance apart, lift and open. Little tone in your belly. Keep hugging in with your inner thighs. Try to press the bottom tips of your shoulder blades towards your spine. Take 1 more big breath. Inhale, arms reach up, realign your spine. Exhale, slow dive down, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift, spinal extension. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, step back to plank. All right, listen here. Side plank, right hand is your foundation. So roll onto the baby toe edge of your right foot, lift your left arm to the sky. If you want to modify your right knee, can come down, no big deal. If your bottom knee is lifted, lift your hips higher, and then everybody reach your left arm forward. Option to float your left leg up or find a leg variation of your choice. About 2 more rounds of breath. Build to strengthen your right side obliques. Lift, lift, lift through your hips. End of your next exhale, slowly with control, switch to the other side. So come through plank, and then left hand is your base. Roll onto the outer edge of your left foot, right arm reaches up. Breathe and find your fullest expression. So right arm forward, baby right leg lifts. Try to soften your face, unclench your jaw. Take 2 more full rounds. Give it everything you've got. Now listen carefully, come back to your plank pose. Lower down to your forearms, forearm plank. So elbows under shoulders, forearms parallel if you can, otherwise modify by interlacing your fingers. Hips level with your shoulders, stay here, breathe here, or to modify, knees can come down at any time. If you would like to make this a little more challenging, bend your knees, but don't let your hips change positions at all. So your shins will hover just right above the ground, and then try to pull your toes forward and pull your elbows back as you draw your belly button up towards your spine. You've got about 3 more rounds of breath wherever you've chosen to be. Soften your face. Unclench your jaw. Breathe down into your belly. 1 last round. You can exhale out your mouth if you want. Bring your knees down. Untuck your toes. Bring your belly down. Sphinx pose to begin with. So elbows under your shoulders. Think of pulling your elbows back and your chest forward. And then rather than letting your belly just press down, tuck your tailbone ever so slightly down towards your heels and feel that little bit of a lift through your belly button. That's to protect your low back. Now you can stay here if you want or move into easy low cobra. So hands go further out in front of you. Pull your hands back, pull your chest forward, lift your elbows just about 1/2 inch off the ground and squeeze them towards each other. I like to draw my chin towards my chest to find length in the back of my neck. Take 1 last round here. And then end of your exhale, lower down. In about 3 breaths or so, we'll meet back in down dog. So it might feel really good just to rest on your belly, maybe bend your knees and windshield wiper your shins. Might feel good to take a couple of cat-cows or a child's pose. You could also move through a regular vinyasa if you'd like. And then in your next breath or 2, start to find your way into downward facing dog. All right. From your down dog, inhale your right leg back and up. Exhale, open your right hip, bend your right knee. So right heel toward your left butt cheek. Try not to lean over to the left, so keep pressing down through your right hand. Take 1 more big inhale and see if you can lift your right knee a little higher. Exhale, right knee, left elbow, or as close as you can come, hips level with shoulders. Inhale, 3-legged dog, right leg high. Exhale, right knee, right elbow or tricep as high as you can on your arm. Add a push-up if you want it. Don't let your butt sink down. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Last one, curl in, knee to your nose. So around your spine, softly step your right foot to the top of your mat. All right, so you're in a lunge position. Great place to grab a block if you have one and use it underneath your left hand. Reach your right arm to the sky, Revolve Lunge. So you can absolutely choose to stay here if you want, or slow transition into Revolved Half Moon. So you'll crawl your left hand forward, take a block with you if you're using one, and float your back leg up. Think of that same idea. This is the exact same position we were in when we were on our hands and our knees. Now you're balancing on one foot. So can you pull your right hip towards the back of your mat, squeeze your inner thighs, reach up, maybe even gaze up at your right fingertips. Take 2 more rounds of breath. If you are in the balancing pose, revolved half moon, slowly come back to your revolve lunge. So left toes to the back of your mat. Everybody unwind, wide-legged forward fold, facing the left side of your yoga mat. So both legs straight, both feet parallel. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. About 3 to 5 breaths, anywhere you want to go. If you would like your last breath here, you might exhale out your mouth. Inhale, lift halfway, fingertips on the ground. Crawl your hands to the top of your mat. Rotate your toes to face forward, so back in a lunge position. 3-legged down dog, right leg all the way back and up. Open your right hip, bend your right knee. Stay here or flip your dog. Right tiptoes come down behind you. Reach your right arm forward, lift your heart, lift your hips, breathe into your belly. Build a strength in your back body. One last round, fullest expression. End of your exhale, everybody meet in a regular downward facing dog. Walk it out. If you would like to move through a vinyasa, feel free. Otherwise, just take a couple of breaths, exploring your dog pose, feeling into it. Next inhalation, left leg high. Exhale, open your left hip. Try not to lean into your right hip. Hug in with your right inner thigh. Squeeze your outer left glute. And then lift your left knee as high as you can. Flex your left toes. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Hips level with your shoulders. Draw your belly button in and up. Inhale, 3-legged dog, left leg high. Exhale, left knee, left elbow, maybe tricep, maybe you have that push-up. Don't let your butt drop down. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, curl in, knee to your nose, ground your spine, then softly step your left foot through. If you're using a block, bring it under your right hand, left arm to the sky. So revolve lunge, squeeze your inner thighs, make your back leg strong and powerful. Be here, breathe here, stay here if you want to. Otherwise, start to move into your balancing revolved half moon. So right hand crawls forward, right leg floats up. Keep reaching up. If it's helpful to you, bring your left hand to your left hip and literally push it back. See if you can feel that skin move to your outer hip and push towards the back of your mat. Make your back leg stronger. Stay rooted through the inner edge of your left foot through the big toe mound. See if you can reach up higher like you want to touch the sky. Take one more full round of breath, fullest expression. If you are in the balancing pose, slowly come back into the revolved lunge. And then slowly unwind, wide-legged forward fold. This time we'll hold it just a little bit longer. So if there's a headstand or handstand hops in your practice, feel free to take them. If not, just do whatever you want to do. Work your fold. You can even take a floor frog if you would like. Make sure your breath stays right there with you wherever you go. Take about 2 more slow, steady, deep breaths. Inhale to a halfway lift. Fingertips on the ground, crawl your hands forward, top of your mat, lunge position. Inhale, 3-legged down dog. So left leg sweeps up and back. Open your left hip, bend your left knee. Stay right here or flip your dog, wild thing. So left hip toes to the ground, left arm reaches forward, or you can bring your left hand behind your head if you want. Press your head into your hand back into your head, and use that to lift your chest even more. Squeeze your back muscles, one last round of breath. Everybody, one final downward facing dog. Walk it out. One last inhale here. And then exhale, child's pose. And this will be the first pose of our official restore practice. So you can either take your regular child's pose, maybe bring your knees out wider than you usually would, or if you have a bolster, a rolled up blanket, or a pillow, you might use it underneath your torso, underneath your head even. Close your eyes. You can continue with your Ujjayi breath if you would like, or if it feels better to just come back to your natural flow, your natural rhythm, that's perfectly fine as well. So just settle in here and allow your entire body to begin to let go, to soften. You've worked hard, so now can you allow yourself to simply just relax, soak it in. We'll be here for about 7 to 10 more breaths. So in those breaths, how could you relax your body just 5% more? So what would that feel like? What would that look like? Would it look any different at all? Maybe it's just an energetic softening, energetic letting go. Maybe you just soften through the inside of your mouth, through your eyelids. And if you do by chance have your head turned to one side, slowly turn it to the other side just to even your neck out. About 3 more rounds of breath, and if you would like, exhale out your mouth. Big, huge inhales, big, audible exhales out your mouth. And as you're ready, rise up to hands and knees. Take a moment to just kind of stretch from that a little bit. So I always think it feels good to come into a Cobra or an up dog type position. Perhaps some hip circles, some cat cows, or even just moving your hips a little bit from side to side. And then as you're ready, we'll find pigeon on the right side, so right shin forward. But if you would rather take a seated variation, so you could go double pigeon fire log. Hopefully you can see me with my dog in front of me. So double pigeon fire log, or even left leg straight, right shin on top, or take it all the way down onto your back for your supine pigeon. So you choose what will best serve you. We're gonna hold this longer than usual, about 20 breaths. So if you do have a pillow or a bolster, it might feel really nice to bring it underneath your right sit bone. I like to slide my bolster just right underneath my hips. Move up so you can see. So just like this. And then you can just lie down slowly. So take a moment to set yourself up. And then really begin to settle in. So again, we are holding this a little longer, so don't go 110% right at first. Go about 75, 80%. And then with each exhale, see if you can allow yourself to soften just a little bit more. And then the longer we are here, just notice what comes up for you. Physical sensations, energetic sensations, maybe emotions. You don't have to name them, you don't have to know what they are, just feel them and experience them. Allow yourself to fully experience perhaps being in discomfort, being in sensation. Rather than trying to get away from it, just allow yourself to move towards it even. About halfway there. Notice if you're holding tension in your face and your jaw. They say that the hips are intertwined with the jaw, so a lot of times when our hips are tight, our jaws are tight. When our jaws are tight, our hips are tight. See if you can allow your jaw to relax and maybe allow your hips to soften a little more. Take about 4 or 5 more breaths. You can exhale out your mouth at any time. I'm going to take my last 2 or 3 rounds with my exhale out my mouth. I invite you to do so if you would like. Alright, slowly begin to find your way out. So I'm not going to cue you out since we're all kind of in different variations, but just do what feels right to you. So maybe you go all the way back to a 3-legged down dog and give your right leg a nice little shake out. Maybe a 3-legged tabletop, circle your right knee or your right ankle, maybe both knees on the ground, some hip circles. If you were taking a supine pigeon, perhaps a full body stretch or hug your knees in towards your belly, rock side to side. So take your time moving, counter stretching. But when you're ready, find your way into pigeon on the left side. And get there again however you want to and set it up however feels best. This side may feel very different than the other side, so do pay attention to that and honor that. Do something different if you need to. Again, a bolster or a blanket or pillow may feel good underneath your left sit bone or underneath both of your hips. About 75-80% to begin with, and then with each exhale, just allow yourself to go a little deeper, to settle a little bit more. Notice, feel, and observe. So your only job is not to change or fix or control anything, but simply just to observe, just to witness, just to watch. So it's the easiest job in the world and it's the hardest job in the world. And notice, how does your body react to sensation? What comes up energetically, physically, emotionally? And again, you don't have to fix any of that. You're just taking in information. You're just observing. And you're about halfway there. See if you can make your last 5 breaths your longest, slowest, deepest breaths you've taken yet. And perhaps last 3 breaths, big exhales out your mouth. Take one final round. And then slowly begin to find your way out of your pigeon pose. So again, I'm not going to cue you. Do what feels best to you. Some ideas: 3-legged dog, left leg back and up, give it a nice little shake out. 3-legged tabletop, circle your left knee through space a few times. Child's pose, hip circles, regular down dog. And then slowly begin to find your way down onto your back. Now I don't care which direction your legs face or your head faces, just as long as you can still hear my voice. So find your way down onto your back and make sure you have your prop somewhere handy. Hug your knees towards your belly or towards your chest and gently rock from side to side. Grab hold of your kneecaps, just the front of your knees, and draw little circles with your knees through space. Imagine your legs are zipped together. You should feel your sacrum being traced against the ground. So that triangular bone right below your spine, right above your butt. Reverse your circles. Keep breathing. And then next time your knees come towards your belly, keep them there. Wrap your arms around the fronts of your shins if you need to. If you're like me, lift your head up. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze as hard as you can. Empty out in your breath. And then release, full body stretch, arms long and legs long. Take one more big inhale, pull yourself apart, and exhale, supine spinal twist with your knees going over to the right. So any variation you want to take. If you want to go more restorative, take your bolster, blanket, or pillow in between your legs like you're sandwiching it, and then just let your knees fall over to the right. Left arm reaches out to the left. If you do have something heavy that could serve as a sandbag, you can put it on the top of your left shoulder, but if you don't, it doesn't matter at all, so don't stress about it. If you have the bolster in between your legs and you don't like it, you can always take it out. Sometimes I like to put the bolster on top of both of my legs just to give my legs a little bit of weight without me having to push. We're going to be here again for about 10 to 20 breaths, so each exhale, allow yourself to settle, to soften even more. And see if you can get out of that mode of being in anticipation of what comes next. And just allow yourself to be right here in this posture on your mat, in your body, fully and completely. Nothing else matters. You're about halfway there. Can you soften a little bit more through your subtle body? So not your physical body, but imagine there was an outline of energy. You can imagine a color, whatever color comes to mind. Just an outline of energy around your entire body, so surrounding the shell of your skin. How could you soften that and relax that? Soften energetically. About 4 or 5 more deep breaths. And if you want, you can exhale out your mouth. If you want, count your inhales and make your exhales about 2 seconds longer than your inhales. That will calm your central nervous system. Take your last breath or two here. And then slowly, if you are using a prop, set it to the side. Roll back onto your spine nice and easy. Grab hold first of your kneecaps. Circle your knees through space just like we did before, just little baby circles. Reverse them. And then hug your knees in closer, gently just rock side to side. Big squeeze, so maybe your head lifts up, nose in between your knees. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale all the way to empty. And then release, full body stretch, lengthen. Big inhale, pull yourself apart, and exhale, move into your supine spinal twist on the other side. So this time legs go to the left. If you want to use your prop in any way, shape, or form, please do so. If not, that's perfectly fine as well. And just know that you're going to be here for a little while. So get as comfortable as you can, and then use each breath to relax and to soften. And just notice, feel, and observe. So again, that's your only job, is to be the observer. The easiest job in the world and the hardest job in the world. One breath at a time. You're about halfway there. Think of softening your energetic body, and sometimes I like to think of it as softening the spaces in between the spaces. So think of the space between your bones and your muscles. Little spaces between your tendons and your ligaments, and can you even soften, relax through that space? And about 5 more deep, slow breaths. And last few exhales might come out to your mouth, or if you want to, just in your own mind, count the length of your inhales and see if you can exhale for a couple seconds longer than you inhale. final big breath here. And then slowly ease your way back onto your spine. So set your prop off to the side if you are using one. Roll back onto your spine. Again, grab hold of your kneecaps, draw those little circles, a few in both directions. Squeeze your knees in a little closer, and then finally, when you're ready, lift your head up. Wrap your arms around the front of your shins. One last big, huge squeeze. Squeeze any stress, any anxiety, anything you need to get out. Squeeze it out, and then release. Full body stretch one last time. So like you're made of taffy and you're being pulled in opposite directions. Lengthen out. A happy baby pose might feel really great to finish off your practice. Just as you're ready, start to set up your final relaxation. So since you guys are at home, if you would like, you're more than welcome to take legs up to the wall, against a wall. You're welcome to use your prop maybe underneath your knees or along the length of your spine, underneath your head. If you want to take a blanket over your entire body, please do. And at this point, just let your breath become effortless. Let your muscles soften, melt away from the bones. Let your back body melt into the ground below you. And my thought for you as we finish our practice, it's a quote by Jeff Foster. It's my favorite. And he just says, "Nothing can make you happy until nothing can make you happy." So think about that one as you drift off into your Shavasana. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out your mouth. And slowly start to bring small, gentle movements back into your body. As you feel ready, ease your way onto either side, fetal position. Take a couple breaths there. And use the strength in your arms to ease your way up into a seat. Eyes closed, sit up nice and tall. Gather your hands to your heart center. And take just one final moment to bow your head to your heart, to acknowledge yourself for taking time out of your day to just slow down and tune in, to reconnect with a deeper part of yourself, to pay more attention to your body, to your breath, and just be more present, become more grounded. I thank you guys so much for letting me guide you. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste.